The sun is out. The sky is almost blue. And we are continuing our journey down the Leeds and Liverpool Canal. We're just leaving a little town called Rodley. Spent a few days here resting up after the mammoth journey to get through that Leeds river lock. Had my birthday, Roger came up to stay, and it was really fun. But time now to move on. Our next destination is Skipton, and we will get there when we get there. There is no rush. If something breaks between here and Skipton, I'll sit and wait. That's okay. And I'll get to Skipton when I get to Skipton. And then after that, it's Liverpool and beyond. Rodley is a lovely little West Yorkshire town. It's really, really friendly. Jolly come. Going for a little morning walk on the Leeds-Liverpool Canal. And then as soon as Charlie's done her thing, we're going to get going. We are slowly making our way from one end of the Leeds-Liverpool to the other. We started in Leeds at Leeds Riverlock and got through it before it closed. And then we're going to end up in Liverpool, right in the middle. That's quite exciting. And we're going to have a jolly good look round there. So I've currently got 120 miles to go. But luckily, I'm not in a hurry. This time, I am going to stop and smell the roses. So this was the mooring I chose last night. So if anything breaks in front of me, I'm just going to sit and wait. That's okay. If it takes me 2 years to get to Wigan, it takes me 2 years to get to Wigan. So because I'm not in a rush, I can just moor up where I fancy. And this was last night's mooring. It's a permanently open bridge, unless the farmer wants to bring his cows across, which he didn't yesterday. And that is what I can see from what way. It's a beautiful, still autumn day. And it's just me, some swans, and the odd bike on the towpath, and the odd train. We are just coming into the town of Apperley Bridge. I'm hoping that the services here has got rubbish, because I haven't been to a rubbish bin for about 3 weeks. So I've got a little bit in the front of my boat that I really want to get rid of. Blue sky. Everything just looks so lovely when the sun is on it. Here we have Apperley Bridge Marina. Chandlery, coffee, diesel, gas, pump out. You can moor here. Brilliant. First obstacle of the day, Apperley Swing Bridge. And the best thing about this one is that it's electric and the workings are on the towpath side, so I can just moor up, use it and move on. How easy is that? Love this. Really simple. One button to open the bridge, one button to close the bridge. And the jolly thing just works. Perfect. Feeling a bit awkward though, look at all that. All waiting for me. Brilliant. This is it. It's now rush hour. Good Lord. You join Charlie and myself heading down the Leeds-Liverpool Canal towards Shipley. Our next obstacle is a set of 2 staircase locks. Staircase locks were new on this canal. They designed them here. And they got better and better as we're going from Leeds towards Liverpool until they get to Bingley, where they know so much about staircase locks, they can show off and make a 5-rise. It was wonderful. So the first set of staircase locks that I came to, just coming out of Leeds, all the water was flowing over the top of the lock. And then the next staircase lock actually had a bywash in the middle. So the middle lock had a bywash. And now they're beginning to perfect bywashes. And this one has a bywash that goes from the top to the bottom to stop the locks overfilling. So you can watch them get better and better at them as we go further down the canal. So we are at Dobson staircase lock, flight of 2. So the first lock, the one we want to drive into, must be empty, and the next lock has got to be full. So there's what way. This is the first lock of the staircase. I've already opened the gate. There's the lock. We're going upstairs. There's Charlie waiting for me, thinking, what on earth am I doing? And then the top lock has got to be full. There we go. It is full. It is ready for me. Life is good. So, locks are ready. Let's go and get the boat. Charlie knows where she's going. Scary coming into a staircase lock because you've got that great wall in front of you. Just makes me go, oh my goodness, it's really high. I've just heard those magical words from a Canal and River Trust person. Do you need a hand? Love that. Top of lock 1, as you can see, it is full. And we're going to drive straight in to lock 2. Just think this is a brilliant idea. So first they've let the water in from the ground paddles, so it's bubbling up. Can you see? Bubbling up from underneath. And then, when those slatted parts on the gate are underwater, then they'll open those so that it doesn't flood my boat. It's nice to be with people who know what they're doing. See? Cranks the handle and water comes through those slats. But he's doing it really carefully so it doesn't suddenly whoosh in. And look at the view as you're going up. Those hills. Love it. And this beautiful building here is the boaters' facilities. Here you can get water, get rid of your cassette toilet, you've got rubbish and you've got pump out. Everything you need. Brilliant. So, here we go. It's not complicated. Our next adventure, a swing bridge, single-handed, where all the mechanism and the way to work it is on the opposite side to where you're supposed to tie your boat to. So I'll show you my little technique, if I can. There are some CRT volunteers and helpers and what have you around here, and they've leapt to help do that bridge. Wonderful, makes it so much easier. CRT guys on the ground are absolutely wonderful. Wow, the Leeds Liverpool's rather gorgeous. Very nice indeed. In the mid-18th century, the growing towns of Yorkshire, including Leeds, Wakefield and Bradford, were trading increasingly. While the air and Calder navigation improved links to the east of Leeds, links to the west were limited. A public meeting took place at the Sun Inn in Bradford on the 2nd of July 1766 to promote the building of a canal. John Longbottom was engaged to survey the route. 2 groups were set up to promote the scheme, one in Liverpool and one in Bradford. They ended up with 2 proposals for the route, so James Bingley was called in to arbitrate. And he ruled in favour of a more northerly route with a branch towards Wigan. In 1768, Brindley gave a detailed estimate of a distance of just less than 109 miles, built at a cost of £259,777. This is equivalent to about £32.6 million in today's money. The Leeds-Liverpool Canal took almost 50 years to complete because they had to do it in 3 separate stages due to funding. The most important cargo was coal, with over 1 million tonnes a year being delivered to Liverpool in the 1860s. Even in Yorkshire, more coal was carried than limestone. Once the canal was fully open, receipts for carrying merchandise matched those of coal. The heavy industry along its route, together with the decision to build the canal with broad locks, ensured that, unlike the other 2 trans-Pennine canals, the Leeds-Liverpool competed successfully with the railways throughout the 19th century, and it remained open through the 20th century. Almost at the top. Into the middle lock. To the 3rd and final lock. I've just said to these guys that was probably the smoothest ride I've ever had, and they said thank you, we pride ourselves in trying to get it right. Wonderful. Because the water's so clear you can see this. That's the ground paddle. Goes down the wall. That is what you're lifting when you're twiddling that round. Excellent. Opening any paddles at all. These poor guys watch what Way's doing and then adjust where she is in the lock by opening a paddle a particular side and a particular amount. And the result is I go up really slowly, really carefully, and I don't bang about. Brilliant. And in come the gate paddles. This is fantastic. Just coming up to a swing bridge and it's magically opened. Some more Canal and River Trust guys are hanging around the bridge. I think they've just turned up specially to open it for me, to be fair. That's just wonderful. What a service. Love it. And see here, we're in a cutting and it's all dark. The other side of the bridge looks sunny, so I'll be able to get me washing out. Excellent. You joined Charlie and myself on a really short cruise from where I am. Been here for a couple of nights. It's lovely. On the Leeds-Liverpool Canal into the town of Shipley. The place name Shipley comes from 2 words, the Old English word for sheep and lea, which means forest or glade or clearing, and later it means pasture or meadow. Therefore, it can be defined as forest clearing used for sheep or sheep field. Shipley appears to have first been settled in the late Bronze Age, and it's mentioned in the Domesday Book of 1086. Although Shipley grew massively in the Industrial Revolution, textile manufacture dates from pre-industrial times. As the place name indicates, Shipley had a history as a sheep grazing land, so wool was plentiful. The River Aire was very close by, which was handy for powering water mills and cleaning. There was a mill in Shipley by 1500 and two more by 1559. Another mill was built by the Dixon family on the banks of the Aire in 1635. By the late 18th century, between 9,000 and 10,000 pieces of broadcloth were being fulled annually at Shipley's mills. Most of the work was undertaken in workers' cottages which had loom shops for spinning yarn. Home workshops were once a common sight before all the big mills arrived. At the end of this private mooring is room for just one boat on the visitor moorings. It's a safe little spot. You're all locked away behind gates, and it's a 1-minute walk to a supermarket and a burger joint. So might only be room for one, but it is a very handy little mooring. The Leeds-Liverpool Canal was once an important navigation linking Shipley to the wider world. The Skipton to Shipley section was completed in 1773, and in 1774 a branch was extended to Bradford. The canal was very important to Shipley because it helped it grow in the Industrial Revolution. The canal brought coal and other goods from Liverpool, and the cloth that was made here was transported on barges to Liverpool and then the rest of the world. There are still lots of buildings here that have got the facilities still attached to them for loading goods made in Shipley onto barges. Now that is what I call a dramatic view whilst cruising on an electric narrowboat. These are the mills at Saltaire. Very dramatic. Lovely. Really lovely. Can you imagine the noise and the smell, though, that would have been coming from these mills when they were working? You join Charlie and myself as we're leaving just outside Saltaire. The sky is blue. I've got 3 locks to do today, that's all. And then I'm going to moor up and wait for a few days because I'm booked into Bingley 5 Rise, and you have to book in at least 3 days in advance. So, little gentle cruise in the very, very cold. Charlie's in her little winter coat, sitting on her hot water bottle but still shivering. Best I can do. We're not cruising for long today. The first lock is just in front of us. Be nice to have moved away from all this building work going on. Not sure what they're doing. It's something to do with stopping the canal from leaking, I think. Well, straight after that lock was a swing bridge, but it was so busy I couldn't show you how I do them on my own. So I'm going to wait for a swing bridge in the middle of nowhere. There's lots of those on the Leeds-Liverpool, and I'll show you how I do a swing bridge on my own. It's not elegant, but it works. Now we're going through a cutting and with some beautiful autumn trees, past some old workboats, to a staircase lock, up that, and then more up for a few days, waiting for our appointment for Bingley 5 Rise. Liverpool, 113 miles. How about this, Charlie, for a bit of equipment? This is how to open the gate paddle. I've struck it lucky. See those fluorescent vests walking about on the bridge? They're 2 guys that work on Bingley 5 Rise, and they'll be helping me through the those locks in a few days' time. Happened to be driving past, so they've stopped and said, "Do you want a hand?" I love the CRT workers, they're wonderful. I always find it worrying when I'm in the first lock of a staircase lock, because that looks so high. Out of this lock, straight into the next. Doing a very, very short cruise to get to the bottom of the Bingley flight. It is freezing! And I'm about to go through some ice, so it might sound pretty. It's only very thin ice. I hope it's not enough to take all my blacking off though. Nearly out of it, it's only a tiny patch. That's it, we're done. That was fun. This is it. This is the biggie. One of the 7 wonders of the Inland Waterways Network. It's called Bingley 5 Rise. Not 2. Not 3, but 5 locks, one after another. Fantastic. I'm looking forward to that.